Yeah. But then also I can read and write Bengali. I can read and write my own language.
Speak it?
So I can speak it, read it, write it.
Do you feel comfortable speaking it with like your grandparents?
Abushoy. So
what was that?
They're dead. Abushoy means absolutely.
Oh, okay. Abushoy.
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 Okay. Sure.
I did that a little Japanese.
You're throwing in Swahili in there.
Abushoy.
Again, can't do pedophile. Loves a good racist joke.
Well, here's the thing about Japanese. I remember I dated a Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't date a Japanese girl. I dated a Romanian girl who lived in Japan.
Okay.
For a long time. She lived there for 10 years.
By proxy, sure.
But she was there for 10 years. So
sure.
she knows the culture.
Okay.
And I know anime.
Yeah. I'm
like
also anime huge.
And so I would be like, I'd be watching like My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm like that. And then I'm like, that's what they sound like. And then she, knowing Japanese, she's like, I feel like you should be saying something. I'm listening for words.
It's just constipated Chinese.
Yeah.
それはフランケそれはサイブルゲザゴードゥングラナルト And then you're like, what are they saying? And they're just saying round one. Round one. But they're just saying.
And welcome to Tyler Is Groce Podcast with me, Tyler Groce. I talk to my very successful friends about life and struggle and what you're working on, how you're trying to improve yourself, what are you doing to get better and better and better. And that I need that information so that I can get better enough to beat you at whatever you're doing, because I'm trying to win in this game called life. We got a good one. We got Usama Siddiquee, man. Very funny guy. All over the TikToks, all over the Instagram. Usama Stands Up is his handle on stuff if you want to look up. Very entertaining stuff. We talk about a lot of different things. We talk about, he's like a cool, like motivationally guy. Like he's went from being a young, shy brown boy in school who thought he was weird to being this successful stand-up comedian who's running around and doing cool things and being out there, putting himself out there. So he has a fun story. We talk about a lot of things. We make a lot of inappropriate jokes, but it was fun. And he rolled with it. It was good meeting him and good chatting with him. I think you're going to enjoy the conversation. So check him out. Check me out. If you go on my link tree that's on my Instagram, TJ Groce, Groce, like grocery store, you can tell me where to perform. I'll come to you and perform anywhere in the world. So go ahead and do that. You can see all my information on my website, tylerisgroce.com, and email me at tylerisgroce@gmail, whatever. Get in touch with me. Tell me that you like me. I'll tell you that I like you, and we can be friends. So check that out. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the episode with Usama Siddiquee, y'all.
We just talk, right? We're just talking about life.
Shit, man, just life, man. Like, who are you? Why are you?
Okay.
That's
Sure.
the bigger question.
That should be the
Why
podcast
are
name.
you?
Why? Let's do it.
Why are you? I picked a bad name. My name's Tyler Groce.
What was that?
It's Tyler Is Groce.
Yeah.
Because I want to beat people to the punch. I'm tired of people saying that, and they're like,
Gross.
and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I'm sure I don't get it with my name Osama. I don't get name stuff, dude.
I don't think you do. I feel like we're past that. Are we past that?
No, people still know. I mean, the jokes are done.
People still know. People still remember.
It's evergreen, dude. He's evergreen. But now at this point, the jokes are being done only by the brown uncles in the Uber.
Okay.
Who are always like, hey, Osama, like, you know? And they always got the energy like to the first
people
person.
Who are also brown. Who know the struggles that y'all went through during that
exactly.
time.
And on the other side of it too, they're like, 9/11 is Christmas to them. It's a different thing.
What do you mean it's Christmas? What does that mean?
That means they love it.
They love 9/11?
Some Muslim uncles are like that, dude. Some brown
I have
uncle.
no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know any brown Muslim.
Yeah. Where are you from? Do we do it as a podcast on?
Huh? Yeah.
We don't introduce it?
No. I introduce it and
Okay.
I'm like, hey, here's my boy.
Okay, go for it. Hit it.
Cut into this natural conversation.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Very.
Used to be until we've talked about this.
Very. You like Pete Holmes?
Yeah.
His podcast was my first podcast.
You made it weird. He was my favorite for a long time. He was like my ultimate, actually bigger than Chappelle for me, bigger than
That's
I know,
that's
crazy.
sweet but ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous
wild and untrue and not right. But when I was a kid, just getting into stand-up, I was just a Pete Holmes fan.
Yeah.
I was like a huge, just like, dude.
His stand up.
His whole vibe. You made it weird.
I maintain I like his stand up.
Now I think he's bad. But I feel like he's still very skillful. I just don't like him.
You know what's weird? I remember what his first HBO special coming out. I forget what it was called. Faces and Sounds, I think.
Faces and Sounds, and he had Impregnated with Wonder.
Yeah, I didn't see because that was like Comedy Central, and they weren't good at.
You were beefing back then.
They had everything, Comedy Central, and then they just didn't put it out.
Dude,
they were like, it's ours.
Well, no,
they fucked up, and then now look at them.
They exactly right. They had this thing where like they would be like, "Listen, we'll give you $20 for 30 minutes." And we'll air it at 2 a.m. What do you think?
Yeah.
And every comic was like, had no business sense. We're like, yo, cool.
Well, yeah,
I appreciate the opportunity. It's Comedy Central, not Comedy Auxiliary or Comedy Outskirts. This is Comedy Central.
Yeah.
So people just gave them their specials. And you'd see all these 2 a.m. ass specials that were kind of being put out. I think that's what happened to Pete Holmes.
Yeah.
But he was the best. He was so good.
I remember Faces and Sounds. I saw that, and that was like, I was like, wow, that was one of the funniest hours of comedy.
People forget how good he was.
And then, like 3 years later, I rewatched it. I'm like, man, this is like really dog shit. This is really boring.
Bad.
It's like not.
Well, I don't think
I saw him like last year.
No, he's live. Like, he's fired.
And I was like, look at him. He's doing his thing.
He knows what he. None of us are like can take away how good Pete Holmes was and is, right? But it's like as you get older. You have some friends who have some diseases and stuff. All of a sudden, Pete doesn't cut it anymore because, like, you start living some real life, and then Pete just seems to not in the real to be someone who's loved.
You know when I felt that?
What's that?
2020, George Floyd.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who he is. I don't know if your brown uncle is talking
about. Was it the cop who killed the white guy? He was the black dude who killed the defenseless white cop.
Hero cop. No, George Floyd died. And
Pete Holmes did a bit of
no, he didn't do a bit of
George Floyd. Whoa.
He was kind of like he kind of wouldn't address it.
Yeah.
He was I mean not, address it like right. Pete, please, what are we doing this trouble time?
You know who made it weird? The cop. Derek. You made it weird, dude.
Exactly. He wouldn't address it. He was kind of like, well, we know this is a sensitive time. We're sorry everyone's going through this. Here's an episode unrelated.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Jenny Slate's on the pod today. What?
I'm like, talk about that shit.
Jenny Slate?
I've been following you for 10 years, man. You've been my black icon. Tell me how to feel.
Your name's literally Holmes, but you're not being one right now.
He wasn't doing shit, and he was just like, I'm gonna be white. I'm gonna sit this out, which is fine. But I feel like you're a comic before your race. I'm gonna put that to you.
Sure. That's a good first question.
How do you feel about that?
I don't think he's required to say anything about that because I think maybe counterpoint he could have been like, I'm white. I don't deserve to say anything about this. Which could be like maybe overcorrecting, but it could be coming from a good place of like, listen, I don't even know what I would say, And white people were coming out too. Black people would be like, shut the fuck up. So if he came out with something, you might have been like, shut the fuck up. So there was no way for him to be okay with you. I think, Sammy.
No, with me, I like people just talking. Like Joe Rogan, he says a lot of crazy shit on there, but I just like that he's talking. Right. I like that he's like, you know what, I'm going to take a big swing. Sure. And I'm going to say some crazy shit. I'm like, that's just not true.
I totally get it. Yeah, right.
Respect.
Right. Elk piss doesn't make your dick hard. Okay, dude? But Pete, it's like, he's so white. I'm not clamoring for his take on George Floyd. I'm like, who needs to chime in? The guy who does the joke about goal and rhymes with toll, rhymes with hole.
What is it? I don't
know. Juan. A hole in one, Juan.
He had on Faces and Sound? He was like, Lenny Kravitz's name is Leonard Kravitz. Leonard Kravitz.
He had some really good jokes. So when he was like, my mom said her favorite recording artist was Celine Dion. Her favorite recording artist, Celine Dion. Her favorite actor, Leonardo da Pizza Place.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's cute.
So good. I mean, he's funny. A cute comic.
He's a cute comic.
You don't need the, Palestine take.
But what do you prefer? In your idol number one, do you want Palestine? Well, do you want social commentary?
Sure.
Do you want yucks?
Yeah.
Do you want absurdity?
I feel like the main thing is being real, right? If you're real with yourself, it always comes out really fun.
Leonard Kravitz.
Here's the thing. This is what I'll say.
Realest nigga out there. Pete Holmes with the Leonard Kravitz.
100%, dude. And Leonard, for one. Salute to you, man. I've been fucking them all. But if Pete was actually that goofy, it would have looked better. Pete, you start realizing maybe isn't as goofy as he says on stage, and that's why it doesn't sound as nice. So if someone is legitimately that weird, it would seem natural on stage. When you're doing a character, it doesn't seem that natural. And that's why I say no to Pete Holmes at this point.
You're saying you don't believe him anymore.
Yeah.
You're saying he used to be, and now he's.
Or I was too dumb to understand that he wasn't. Ever.
You know, I still listen to his podcast.
Yeah.
I listened to the one last week. I forget who. I think it's Bobby Moynihan.
Oh shit! Really? I feel he's going deep into the barrel now.
Yeah. No, he's
got every single person now. So I feel like now it's my next door neighbor Cheryl.
He's still getting guests. He's still getting people on there.
Oh yeah.
And I think what it was back in the day. It was like. What was so interesting about his podcast and probably about his comedy is that he was like searching for something. He was like post-divorce.
Sure.
His worldview was changed. He was looking for some sort of worldview, some sort of path, some sort of meaning.
Right.
And now he's like 45 with a wife and kid, and he's like, found it.
Yeah.
And I'm
God,
like,
who cares?
I'm like, he's like, God's great, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
George Floyd, yeah. Piece of God, that's my take. And it's like, damn.
It was very fun because he was the only comic podcast that would go into God, that would go into like God stuff and be like, he would ask Dave Attell, like, hey, what do you think about God? Like, that's good shit. Like, and Dave Attell obviously had no concept. He's like, dum 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 dum. Oh my God. And you're like, yeah, really.
Do you do impressions?
That's pretty good, right?
That was good at David Attell.
Not gonna toot my own horn.
That was pretty good. I mean, your voice is like here's David. Like your voice is. It's very.
It was a caricature, but I think tonally and rhythmically it was perfect.
I think it was good.
And thank you for appreciating that because I think it really was good.
No, it was.
It was
I'm
good.
telling you. I'm not playing. I can do Obama.
Go for it.
It's me. Hey, it's me.
Hey,
I do fun.
Hey.
I do fun Obama like on vacation. Like, hey, come on, let's get one more margarita for the room. Hey,
it's fun.
Come on, everybody.
Fun. 8 years ago, killing for sure.
Michelle.
It's great.
Yeah,
that's great. The little in the back.
Malia, bring your friend Donald Glover over. She's just writing for Donald Glover now.
Let me ask for your impression. Okay, a pedophile Obama. Go for it. There it is.
I got no,
there it is. Wow.
Oh man. Oh man. This better be kept a secret. Top secret. I'm not keeping those files at home. Hey, come on, Trump. Hey. Is that anything?
That was great.
Is that something?
That was great. You went for it, dude. I was wondering if you would, but that was great. Canceled immediately. But yeah, I think if you're not real with yourself, then the comedy does not. At this point in my life, I feel like maybe I was a kid learning, and we're still always learning, but I was less able to see through a lot of this stuff. Now, Pete is technically brilliant.
Are you saying you were unable to see through
maybe some of the fakeness
before you were doing? Because once you start doing it, you start seeing all the tips and knobs and gears and like
doohickeys.
And then I was talking with someone about this the other day. Like you see somebody put a special up on YouTube and it gets like 5 million hits,
right.
and it comes into you and you're like, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch a 300,000.
Yeah,
I might watch a 5 million.
Sure.
And then you click on it and you're just like, please be good.
Yeah.
Not even just because for me, I'm like, I want to feel like a kid again watching Chris Rock.
Sure.
I want someone to be that good again.
Here's the thing.
And it's never going to happen because we're doing it and we're old.
We're old and we're doing it. That is true, bro. That is true. But here's a way to undo that.
Uh-oh.
You want a little,
here's the hope.
Little cheat?
Yeah, okay.
Little cheat code?
Okay.
Is stop watching comedy. That's the cheat
altogether.
Code. Not altogether. Comedy is now a thing that you are doing and you understand a little bit more. So the magic is gone. Maybe start watching some different types of films that you never tried to watch. Maybe start watching videos of dancers, videos of artisans, video of a butcher fucking cutting some pig. You start watching these other disciplines, all of a sudden you don't really know anything about that. And so I'll watch videos of butchers like slicing up a fucking cow, and it's so incredible because it's so magical, so something I don't know. I'm like, wow. So if you watch something or get into something that you don't really know anything about, the magic is back.
But not for comedy.
Okay, man. Listen, life is tough.
I'm not saying there's no magic in my life. I'm not saying I pursued this dream and I'm like, and it's bleak. It's like really. The shine on life is gone, and I'm just I'm just biding time till the end. That's not what I'm saying.
Is there a cheat code for liking comedy more? Go watch more live stuff.
Watch more live stuff.
Yeah.
But then you know what I do? I get in my head.
What's up?
And
He's too good.
Huh?
Fuck, he's too good.
Not even too good. It's not even are they better. It's the ultimate question is, are they better than me?
Yeah,
that's the ultimate question.
Of course.
So, but you're watching it, and then I can't even if they're better than me, if they're not better than me, I can't even enjoy what they got.
Right.
Even if they're the same as me, I'm like, and they have a great joke, I'm like, pretty good joke. I'm like, just laugh. I'm the audience member.
You know, it's interesting. We definitely have to go do work mentally to go back to a sense of play. Definitely. Like, we're always trying to find out. What did Picasso say before he, no means yes, I think was one of his quotes.
Everyone's a child and then they learn not to be.
Yeah. Or no, it's like you spend a lifetime trying to relearn how to draw like a child.
Right.
So that's what it is. It's like you are your child in the beginning. Then society inculcates you into its ideas, and then you sort of become society. Then the idea is to go back and figure it out.
Yeah.
And mentally figure out a way to go back by stop caring and stop allowing societal norms to affect you. All those things take a lifetime to unlearn, right?
Well, let's dig into it. Who is Usama as a child?
Yeah,
Texas.
Yeah, well, I grew up born in Canada.
Both Texas, me and you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Well, born and raised in Houston.
In Houston, yeah. You told me this. Yeah, you started the Houston scene, Jaffer and.
No, I didn't. I started in Austin. Went to raised
UT?
in Houston, college in A&M.
Yeah,
and then went to
A&M. I was going to go there for med school, man.
Yeah, and then went to Austin.
Yeah,
Did you not go to med school?
No, I got into Texas A&M.
Med school.
I was going to go, and that was very good med school, and I was going to go, and I fucking didn't. I was like,
because of this?
Because of this, dude. Because
were you doing it
one day?
Once I saw faces and sounds, I was like, well, I can't. This medicine is not going to work out for me. What? So, born in Canada,
right? Jersey, 5 years.
Can you be president?
No, I'm a Canadian citizen.
You're not an American citizen.
No, I think to be an American president, you have to be born in America.
Or your parents are American.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Okay.
I don't think it's really like if I had a kid overseas, that would be fucked up if they couldn't be Americans.
I don't know if that rule is that intense. Like
you couldn't be president.
Okay, fine.
I don't think so.
But Canadian Prime Minister, get fucking ready. I'm coming for you. Eh?
Yeah. So you were born there.
Yeah.
And your parents are Canadian?
No.
Parents are Indian?
Bengali?
Yeah. Is that a country?
Bangladesh is a country to the east of
Bangladesh, India. And you call it Bengali.
No, Bengali's ethnicity.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to learn.
I thought you weren't white for 1 second. My bad. I forgot the half white is showing right now.
Scoot over a little bit this way. Scoot over a little bit for the cam. Okay, Bengali is the ethnicity.
Yeah.
In India.
And Bangladesh, no.
In Bangladesh.
They're both India and India. India and Bangladesh.
You're in both places.
So
you got cousins everywhere.
Let me give you quick. I got you. You're just freaking out. Right now. So there's India, Pakistan to the west, and then Bangladesh to the east.
All right, cool.
Bengal is a province that is actually both in India and in Bangladesh. It was sliced by the British during the partition of 47.
So now it's more of a cultural space.
Okay. Right? Now you can be Bengali and Indian, and you can be Bengali and Bangladeshi. So nationalistically, on nation state level, you're Bangladeshi and Indian, but on an ethnic linguistic level, you're Bengali.
Okay.
Right? So ethno-linguistically, I'm Bengali. Nationalistically, I'm both Indian and Bangladeshi. My dad's from India. He's a Bengali from India. My mom is a Bengali from Bangladesh.
So is there still love between the Bangladesh and the India side?
Of course.
Or is there?
Because they helped us beat off the Pakistanis.
Right, because India doesn't like Pakistan.
Oh yeah. Now we're getting somewhere.
They don't like Pakistan.
You know this.
I don't know much. I know there was a skirmish a couple of years ago.
Called the genocide, sure.
No.
A little kerfuffle, if you will.
Who got genocided?
No, it was Pakistan genocided us.
When?
71.
19?
19, bro.
Shit.
Very recent. Because we were their country before.
That's when Three's Company was on.
Oh, yeah. John Ritter was like, man,
he's riding the bike.
We've been waiting for you. I can't do pedophile stuff, but genocide, I'm down. This is the Tyler Groce experience. Pedophile Obama takes 30 minutes to coax out of him. Genocide of my people, 2 seconds. Phenomenal joke, by the way. Three's Company, theme song, And think about this: 3 company, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh.
I mean, listen,
Dude, the level of riff on that, you don't even know how good that was.
You think I don't know? You think I don't know? You think I don't know what I'm doing?
So good. That's one of the best riffs I've ever heard in my life.
So there was that. So is that where
Is
that where the hate came from Pakistan?
Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good.
Is that where the hate came from? Was that genocide?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there was some strife beforehand.
There was a lot of genocide in between.
Okay.
So when Pakistan was established as a Muslim state, when it was India got its independence in 47, Gandhi and the gang.
I've heard of him.
Gandhi and the gang got the independence, and basically what happened was fucking. They cut British people didn't know about anything in terms of like ethnically what was going on. They just cut through a certain point. There's like this part of Pakistan, parts of India.
British
people. Then Pakistan was like, we're Muslim countries here. So a bunch of Muslims in India were like, we got to go over to Pakistan. A bunch of Hindus in the Pakistan side were like, we got to go over to India. So that migration of human tissue, Muslims going to Pakistan and Hindus going to India, after that international line was drawn, caused a lot of pain, a lot of killing, a lot of come and knock on your door, like a lot of shit. And
a lot of Mr. Roper's coming in.
Oh, dear.
Mr. Roper's coming downstairs.
Oh yeah, hello,
yeah,
it's me. Yeah,
damn,
very brutal.
Okay,
but so a lot of unsaid.
So then were there, and then the Bangladesh.
Here we go.
Those were they were already there. They cut it between Bangladesh and India, and there was no immigration, there was no movement there. That's just where they were, and then they made a.
Well, there was definitely some fighting, but it was a little less than the one.
Y'all figured it out, you know.
We're talking,
come on, man, peace, love.
Yeah.
Come on, it's all good.
Hey,
it's all good. But then, and then your parents were there, and then somehow they got to India and had a little you.
No. Their story was. My dad went to Bangladesh from India a long time after, so like in the 80s.
In India, went to Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, met my mom there. Then they got married. Had my brother, moved to Canada. Had me, my brother.
Okay.
Moved to Jersey for like 5 years. Then moved to Dallas. Where most of my life was.
Okay.
Dallas.
How old were you in Dallas?
So like 4th grade to basically end of college.
How was that? I asked Jamie, I was like, what's something I should ask?
Yeah.
And he was very different in high school.
I was.
I'm like, what does this mean?
I was, bro. I was a very shy kid. I couldn't look at you in the face if I was talking to you back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so ashamed of my face.
What's wrong with your face?
It's gorgeous. I know. I've nothing wrong.
What was wrong with your mirror? More importantly,
what's wrong with the girls around me?
Because your face is great. We listen. I also grew up in Texas. I know what was wrong with the girls in Dallas.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I know what's fucking wrong.
Come
with them.
on, dude.
I went to A&M. Yeah. I was a cute little boy.
Yeah.
Nobody was looking at me.
Yeah, of course. Because they were looking for Johnny Football vomiting on the fucking streets.
They really were. They were looking for Johnny Football.
Hey, we're going to Northside. What the fuck was it called?
Or they were going to the basketball team for like the real blacks. It's exhausting.
You're like artistic black. You know what I'm saying?
Artsy black?
Artsy black, dude.
I'm Donald Glover black?
Yes. You're Manly Gambino.
Manly Gambino? You know what I'm saying? I hope to be one day. He kind of turned into Manly Gambino.
He's now Manly. Yeah, he's adolescent Gambino now.
He's like Lil Bow Wow.
Mature
went to Bow Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just Gambino now.
I'm Mr. Wow, please. When did you go during Johnny Football times?
I was, yeah.
Oh my god!
I didn't care about football.
What was the place called where everyone went out? Riverside? What is it called?
Northgate.
Northgate
is where the drinks were.
Northgate.
Worst
bouncers on history.
Why?
Well, every time I went there to party, just like every month, they would have like vampiric bouncers. Like dudes were. I remember one time it was social hour. Everyone's leaving the bar, and then one of the girls, like Shanti, was like, "The bouncer's biting everybody." I'm like, what?
What?
It was this bouncer got crazy and started biting people. There was a bouncer with tear gas. He like tear gassed everybody when there was like a fight breaking out. They were crazy bouncer stories.
I've never heard any of this. I was there for 4 years.
I guess we were just there in the wilder area of Northgate, perhaps.
It's such a small area.
We were there, dude. I'm sorry. I guess Indians. I was in a frat. I was in Beta Cat Theta.
You were in a frat?
Yeah, Beta Cat Theta, man.
You're interesting. You're a shy dude.
Yeah.
I'm just. I know we're gonna. This is the high. There's a shy dude.
Yeah.
But now you're a confident comedian.
Yes.
Med school, but also frat. I feel like frat and med school don't go together.
Well, it was a brown frat.
Brown
So
frat.
now we're back.
So you were trying to meet other Browns?
It was natural how I got in there. It was just like my Malu friends.
You just didn't notice while you were pledging?
It's like it's just really fun.
You're like, you didn't notice that they're all brown people?
Yeah, I don't see color.
Oh, that's good.
I don't see
Wow.
Put that on there.
That's really deep.
I don't see the color
It's really deep.
because I'm blind. Dude, I had just been. My friends were around. They were doing it. I didn't.
Yeah. And then what school is this?
UT Dallas.
UT Dallas, okay.
I was there. I was confident by then. In high school, I was very, very shy. I couldn't look at people in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't talk to girls. Very, very like fucking. I apologize. My manager's like, I'm gonna call you in a second.
Yeah, no, my manager.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, yeah. No,
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry.
Wait, yeah.
Tell Chappelle to hold.
Tell Lauren. I'll call him.
Call him back. I love you like a dashiki wallpaper.
Yeah, it came with it. It was one of the options. I didn't choose it.
Did you buy it on the day George Floyd?
I think no. This was I think my brother was here visiting in February, and he was like, "Did you see the new wallpaper that Apple has?" And I was like, "I'll do it."
It's cool, bro.
It's
very African.
Yeah, it's just like a. They can't see. It's like a red, green, blue, black.
But it's the Africa
it's
colors.
like Africa
right?
colors, but with like a tech white bro.
Definitely like on some like a white expressionism twist.
Yeah.
Like look what we did with your shit.
And what describes me more than African with some white?
That is
impressionism
you
twist.
in a fucking wallpaper.
Yeah,
You're like white expressionism, but you're black.
Yeah, I think that's me.
Are you half white, half black?
No.
Full black.
Mm-hmm.
Full frontal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's your ancestry? Do you know like the
I mean, there's some white in there.
Mom.
Actually, my brother just did it was like a different one that's
Sure.
more accurate, and we have like the areas of Africa that we're
Fascinating. What would y'all get?
from. We got Benin.
Benin. Yeah.
And then there's some. I think there's some Nigeria around there.
Yeah.
You know, Benin, Nigeria.
Cool.
And he was looking into Benin. He's like, we should go. And then he's like, oh, no, this country sucks, man. We're gonna.
No, Benin sucks. Nigeria rocks.
Yeah. So but I think Benin was like too like expensive and like
Yeah.
not a lot going on. He's like, you should go to Nigeria.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, because he's a big traveler.
Cool, man.
English. A lot of English.
Okay. Oh, really?
Because this guy, I said this on my last podcast.
Yeah.
Jared Groce came to Texas, founded Texas, had slaves. And that's
For real,
that's
for
me.
real?
Yeah, for real.
Do you know if it was consensual or?
The ancestor that was freed.
Yeah.
So like we have a piece of land in Texas.
Yeah.
And the lady that got that was married to white man. So I think that was love. But I'm sure there was some stuff before that was less.
Woo!
That was less loving.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then
Bro, that's wild.
Yeah, and then mom's side's like Louisiana Creole.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I love fucking New Orleans.
Yeah. I went there and I was like, it was a deep.
Bro, oh, you felt it, right?
I was like,
you had one beignet. You're like, oh.
I was like, I felt like that, and the bucket. They were on the buckets.
Dude,
I was like, whoa, shit. I was like, this is.
Dude,
it felt right.
What is it? The 5th March? What the fuck?
I don't know what that is.
When someone dies in New Orleans.
Oh, it's the New Orleans funeral or whatever. Yeah.
I went to Frenchman Street. Frenchman Street was so fucking cool, dude.
And then I had this will lead me to the next
Yeah.
question. I remember last time I was in New Orleans, I was getting gumbo outside at some place. And
with your African wallpaper and everything.
African wallpaper.
Just fucking.
I was like, you know what I want. Extra shrimp. Come on.
Come on, man. And it's free, right? Don't be doing this to my brother.
And I was there, and he was cooking up the gumbo.
You know what I want. And if you charge me,
get some andouille on the side, motherfucker. And I was doing that. And there was like a black dude comes up, and he's like a Louisiana black. He's like, hey man, let me get some gumbo.
Yeah,
and then there was like a white redneck dude that comes up,
Same,
kind of
sounds
overalls. And he was like, hey man, let me get her.
Yeah.
And then they started talking to each other, but like just completely equals.
New Orleans is like that, dude.
Completely in a way that's not in Texas. Like Texas has black people, white people, but there's always like
a little bit of.
There's always like a
divide.
Like a we're it's truce right now.
Yeah.
But it could erupt at any moment.
It's the guy who's like, dude, that's crazy, fucking dude, Bryce, you're out of control, and he's black. You know that guy?
No.
Who sounds white but he's black in Texas. He's like an SAE, but he's got the backwards hat. Good loving parents.
No.
And Clarence's parents had a real good marriage type dude. You know?
Okay. I don't know. I don't know the black guy who's quite that deep into it.
I guess I was in a frat, so I was in the frat.
I mean, that's the thing. I never really fucked around with those people. But here's my question to you. So you was in school.
Yeah.
And this is my understanding of, I'm not mixed, but I'm
right.
You know, you thought I was. So
I did. You know what? I apologize. I did not know. I just, you know what it is? If a mixed energy. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. As you hold kombucha.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Peach.
Peach delight.
I wanted cran apple. Anyway. No, but here,
you know why? You know what? That's not okay. It's actually kind of racist. Actually, the underpinnings of it, because like light skin chill, it must be mixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my best boy Eagle is like light skinned off the wall, so I'm like, you ain't mixed, and he's actually the mixed one.
I mean,
his dad's Jewish.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's a tough life,
and you know what? We be assuming sometimes, and I apologize.
You know, but also, my brother just did an ancestry.
Yeah. And you
break it if you break it down. It's half and half. I mean, it is half and half, but it just took a long time. I took the scenic route to get here, but growing up in Texas, especially being not completely black, not completely white, like you, like me, like there's this middle space that is gray and nuanced, but you got to pick a side.
In
what
early
side?
On, it's called loser, right?
Yeah,
like
okay.
Nobody cares. Everyone hates you.
Did you pick a side? Did you pick white? Did you pick black?
I had so many.
Do you know what I
friends.
mean by that question?
Yeah. There's only two cultures you can choose in the early aughts.
Yeah.
Now it's like white people becoming brown. They're like, I want tikka masala for lunch, mom. That's different.
Yeah.
Before there was no tikka masala. There was nothing.
No.
There was just us, and you had to choose white, choose black. Either you become the brown dude from Queens who says the N-word in Jackson Heights, or you become, a guy named Vikram who's like, call me V-Dog, who's like white as fuck.
Yeah.
So I became brown because I had many brown friends. So I was on a very highly brown.
So you were like,
I just had so many brown people.
You just culturally, you were like, we mobbing up. Yeah. I often see Asians do that. I guess I think maybe there were less brown people in my school, even though there was brown people around. Yeah. But it's
very like highbrow racism right there. You're like, I often see Asians congregating.
You often see Asians mob up. They're like, yo, we're in it together. I was hanging out. I met an Asian friend in New York. One of my first friends in New York, Asian. And she was like, hey, come hang out. And I come and I'm like, it's all Asian. And I'm like, yeah, this is what they do.
Yesterday?
Huh?
Did you go to the Asian Comedy Festival party?
No.
Okay, so I thought
you
found the Asians.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know. No one told me. She's not in comedy.
Got you.
So you next time you invite me.
Yeah, brown people. I mean, we do again. Our race. There's definitely like a connectivity between race for sure. And so I think brown people found each other in high school. We were all very like together.
See, but whenever I was looking at your comedy, I was like, oh, he chose black.
Well, I love. You know why it is? Because a lot of black people see my confidence and they're like, you black. If I'm in Flatbush doing a show, at the end of the show, they're like, you black, right? You black. And I'm like, actually, I'm not. Your prism, your lens of confidence can be only seen through a black prism.
But to be fair, you're on stage and you're like, look at this white motherfucker at the front. Look at him.
First of all, I did not say it like that. But I think, look at this white bitch.
It's like, hey, I remember the joke on it. It was a good joke. It was something like, hey, who's on Tinder? Who's on Hinge? This motherfucker said he on LinkedIn. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Hey, come on. You know what I'm saying, man? That's crack ass bitch.
Gross.
I was like,
caricature, but I love it. I love it. Motherfucker on LinkedIn, VP of White People Link. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, did he just say cracker ass bitch?
Look at me. Come on, now.
How's he gonna say he didn't choose black after that?
Did he just say shit with 13 eyes? He said shit. I am informed by black comedy, bro. My favorite comics in the world, black. Obviously, it's gonna seep in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I have no qualms. I fucking love y'all. Y'all are the fucking shit.
Who's your favorite black?
Cat Williams, motherfucker. Really? Kevin Hart, first 3 specials.
Sure.
Fucking Eddie Murphy.
Those first 3 specials, man.
Unbelievable, dude.
I mean, they're
unbeatable.
I don't know what happened. But
he got famous, bro. He got mad famous.
I mean, also very rich.
Yeah.
Hundreds
It's
of millions.
hard to be fucking
hundreds of millions.
that funny when you're that rich. And he just was, and these are timeless because he talks about family and talks about his wife and shit. They're never going to go old. They're always going to be funny. In 100 years, they're going to be funny. Mm-hmm. He will stand the test of time with those 3 specials.
Yeah. And with Fatherhood on Netflix streaming.
Oh, yeah. Check it out. Free plug there for nobody. So, yeah, I think black people think I chose them and white people think I chose them. It's a weird thing, actually.
White people claim you.
Sometimes they claim me. And black people claim me as well. It's a weird thing. And I just be Usama. You see what I mean?
It's not. I'm not making this up. I'm like you.
But then I'll also be like, bro, hey, bruh. So I have that too. So
Yeah.
I've just taken everything.
But if you put it down an octave, that's black too, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, dog,
Hey, bruh.
bro.
Bruh, like that little soundbite.
Yeah.
But then also like I can read and write Bengali. I can read and write my own language.
Speak it?
So I can speak it, read it, write it.
Do you feel comfortable speaking it with like your grandparents?
Aboshoy. So
What was that?
they're dead. Aboshoy means absolutely.
Oh, okay. Almost shoy.
Aboshoy.
Abushoy.
Okay. Sure.
I did that a little Japanese.
You're throwing in Swahili in there.
Abushoy.
Again, can't do pedophile. Loves a good racist joke.
Well, here's the thing about Japanese. I remember I dated a Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't date a Japanese girl. I dated a Romanian girl who lived in Japan.
Okay.
For a long time. She lived for there for 10
By
years.
proxy, sure.
But she was there for 10 years. So she knows the culture.
Okay.
And I know anime.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
also
anime.
huge.
And so I would be like, I'd be watching like My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm like that. And then I'm like, that's what they sound like. And then she, knowing Japanese, she's like, I feel like you should be saying something. I'm listening for words.
It's just constipated Chinese.
Yeah.
それはフランケーそれはサイボルグだ Go Dungura Naruto And then you're like, what are they saying? And they're just saying round one. But they're just saying it's like that was English.
Just saying round one. Wait, they haven't started?
Yeah, I go, wait. What was all that? I'm a huge anime guy. I'm watching so much One Piece that at this point I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna watch this much fucking anime, let me learn one Japanese word every episode. So like,
Wow.
I've been trying to learn one Japanese thing or phrase between every episode, and I'm doing so bad. But like,
That is incredible.
You know, like if I'm gonna devote this much of my fucking life to Luffy and the gang, let me fucking watch.
I know one.
What's up? Hi. This means yes. And then kusa means shit. Like when someone's like very like about to get fucked up. Kusa.
Or what was it? There was another one.
Nanda.
Baka.
Baka means you idiot.
Baka means like baka's like
Stupid, right?
according to my
Yeah.
not Japanese ex-girlfriend.
Baka.
Baka is like their only cuss word. So bakas use you fucking idiot
Yeah, baka.
or this fucking piece of shit.
Right.
Baka, phone baka.
Baka.
Baka. Like so it's
Baka-san.
I mean, I'm probably not. But
Yeah.
San is very honorific,
It's
so you wouldn't
very
do
love,
that.
yeah.
But yeah. So like, I know some stuff. Is what I'm saying.
I know Sama. So Sama is
Sama.
super like we're talking like
You almost
professional.
never use it.
It's like for business basically, and then San is like honorific. Then Chan is for like women that you think are cute or like very like
I
close
thought
to.
Chan was for equals, homies.
Is it?
Oh no, kun.
Kun is for equals.
Equals
for men,
homies,
and
yeah.
Chan is for like a cute if you're a girl.
Yeah.
Like hey Chan, like a little girl, like
Yeah.
a really good friend. That's what I think.
And then there's like, I was watching Spirited Away.
Oh yeah,
They had some
one of the best.
They had some different ones. No, not Spirited
What?
Away. The one with the big fat guy, big fat monster that's lovable.
Fat Albert.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh,
that
yes,
one.
Yes.
So in that one, they're sisters, and they were using some different ones, and I was googling it, trying to learn and shit.
Okay.
I gotta go there. I gotta go to
Yeah,
Japan.
I did been there once.
You did?
Did some shows. Went to Akihabara. Played like those like fucking. They had those like little arcade houses that are 4 floors. It's fucking crazy,
Really,
bro. Like
I want to go to Mario Land,
Oh,
Attack on
100%.
Titan Land.
huge. Yeah, no Jews allowed in that one.
I'm sorry.
No Jews allowed in the.
Why would they want to go?
You know, Attack on Titan is like made by a Nazi, right?
He's not a Nazi. He's not. He's using Nazi imagery to show how bad Nazis are.
Wow.
He's using historic. He's not a Nazi.
Hitler's
Will
not
you
a Nazi.
stop? Will you
Hitler
stop?
doesn't-
There's one more episode, and I'm not gonna not watch
Wow.
it. There's one more episode of the show.
Hitler doesn't hate Jews. He's being ironic. He's being ironic.
This guy's not a fucking Nazi. You can't be Japanese and a Nazi.
I'm just. You actually were Japanese. that was a whole time period, actually.
Nah, but that was
Wait.
that was different, man. You don't understand.
They killed 20 million Chinese people during World War II. Let's just.
You and these genocides. I used coming
You're harsh in the, and I'm curing you. It's Japanese.
Round
Three's
the
Company.
one.
Three's a company. Round the one. Ding. Genocide. Jesus Christ. Listen, it's not okay. This is very dark humor. Don't cancel us. We're sorry. No, it's not okay. Genocide is not okay. It's not okay.
I don't. No one listens, so it's fine. So you were shy in school. Because this podcast,
social genocide.
Okay, we can focus up a little bit because this podcast is about self-improvement, betterment. I was listening to you on some other podcasts. Seems like you've done a lot of that in your life to get from shy Indian kid who was weird about his face to this confident, debonair motherfucker who's looking me right in my eyes.
Of course, bro.
The whole time.
Of course.
Almost unnervingly so.
Yeah. I was so inconfident, so scared. I hated my face. I thought I was ugly. Girls said I was ugly. Again, my energy was just creating its own prophecy, you know? Dakarina, ugly son, you know? And it was just, and I had good friends, but I was like, I'm an ugly guy, blah, blah. And then comedy changed everything. So I started being funny.
Yeah.
And girls started like talking to me because I was funny.
Comedy in high school?
In high school. Just being funny. Just being funny. Just funny kid. Yeah. Like in hangouts and stuff. And I was just like really into it. I was like, I love that this makes me feel good. Girls are talking to me in a way that isn't like disgusted. I was like, oh, I'll be the ugly funny guy. That was like my life. I was like, I'll be ugly and funny. And I didn't realize that back then girls were liking me for my face too. I just was so hateful towards myself, dude.
Well, you were a child.
Yeah, of course. Like, we all were.
You and you're around white kids. Yeah. You're a brown kid. You're like, I feel different, but you know what? I'm going to give it a go. Of course. And some girls like, you're ugly. And you're like, okay.
I knew it. Okay. I fucking knew it. And it just takes a long time. I think, you're not alone. It's not like, I was the only guy who felt weird in high school.
Yeah.
We all had weird shit. It's just, personally, that was the story, right? I think most of us felt weird and uncouth and just, there's a small group of like popular kids who like were finding themselves. We were not, right? Blah.
Yeah.
And then comedy happened, and I was like, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. I need to be funny so like people can like me. I needed it. I was depressed if I wasn't funny one day. Like one Tuesday I was not funny, I would feel terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I suck.
Yeah.
And then the next time I'd be funny, I'm like, oh, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
My ego was directly tied to the quality of the jokes that I was saying that day.
Yeah, I've been there.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm still there.
Of course, every day. Right now I'm there.
If you didn't laugh at those genocide jokes, I would have.
Oh, God, so good.
It would have been bad.
So I fucking, so when I started stand-up in college, that's when I was able to put the ego in something very constructive.
In Dallas?
Yeah, in Dallas.
And then where'd you go in Dallas? Is there a scene? There's a scene.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot. I know there's one of the few places in Texas that has like a sort of a club scene where you get into the club.
Of course.
Which, it's not really like that in Austin.
We can get Cap City, but Velveeta.
But it takes a while.
Yeah. It's not really a club scene.
It's not a club scene. It's like there's a club.
Get in a Vulcan if you want anything. To be honest.
If I don't know how to do that. I was there for like a year. I was like, can I? Maybe no.
Back in the Ramin Nazar days and the Bearden days, I could get in. Now it's like, who do I even hit up?
Yeah.
Hunter Duncan, shouts. He's the guy who always books me in the fucking house.
Mm-hmm. That's my boy. He was on this podcast.
I love Hunter, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter's one of the few guys that I'm like, okay, anytime I go to Austin, I'm like, hit this motherfucker.
He's good people.
Cool guy.
Good people.
Cool fucking guy. And Austin has a lot of cool people. People say it's like, it's now all right-winged out. It's not. It's a lot of cool people, a lot of cool energies. There's some crazy contingents, but every city has their crazy contingents. So, love Austin.
So you were
okay. Here we go. My bad. So I hated myself.
Yeah. Hated yourself. Wanted to get back.
And then comedy was the savior.
I've knew I wanted to do comedy since college. Mm-hmm. I didn't start doing it until after college. Sure. But like once I started doing it, I was like, okay, this is the thing. And I've been doing it ever since. And I know people who I met in college and before and were growing up. And like they're kind of like, I don't know, I'm just kind of working and doing this. And it's like the gift of having something that gives you confidence, makes you feel good about yourself, is a passion that you're like, I'm committing to my life to this.
Right.
Is like, so many people don't have that. It's great that we have this thing that gives us a lot.
I'll shoot on screensaver. Does that stop the recording?
No.
Just make sure that you're good.
I'm very paranoid.
Got you. Exactly. I see you checking the levels every 2 seconds. Just like... She's like,
you're like,
and I'm the lines?
I'm like, okay, all right.
Okay, just over Japanese the audio. I think it's important to have that, but I don't think everyone has that. It's okay. You don't have to have a passion to have a good life.
No.
Now, I do really wish a good passion on everybody because it does really supercharge your purpose. It supercharges your ease of being, your acceptance of death, and the moment to moment becomes less painful. you know, because you're spending your days truly doing something incongruent with who you are. But, and I wish that on everybody. I wish that on anybody who can find it. People who can't find it, find your garden. Find a garden. Find a place that makes you feel calm, at least.
Yeah.
Feel good. And if you can find that, cultivate that bitch.
I talk about this a lot. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast. You know Elizabeth Gilbert?
I've heard of her. What is this?
She wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh. Yeah. India the book. India the book.
Yeah. She really painted an authentic picture of India. Yeah. Probably better than anyone's ever done. I'd have to say. But she had this thing not the book, but in something else, where she's like, there's two kinds of people. There's jackhammers who find their passion and they go. And then there's hummingbirds. Do a little bit of this. They go over to this flower, do a little bit, and they cross pollinate.
I love.
And they're able to take we have one thing.
Yeah.
Like if we got canceled, if there was if YouTube shut down, we'd be like, well, I guess
I'll just die.
Yeah, I guess if fascism came to America and they're like, no more telling jokes, like I don't have any more skills. Mm-hmm. You did nothing, so we're lucky.
I think you're right. We're lucky. That's debatable, right? Like this has caused a lot of pain too. Like a lot of life is not being left. Like a lot of women are not being married. You know what I'm saying? Like there's definitely some things you sacrifice for the jackhammer, for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just jackhammer too many hoes. And now you can't.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? I did it.
Hey, I ain't no sacrifice.
Yeah, dude. Drill bit. Hand me that drill bit. So
what?
Respectfully, of course.
So you're doing that. What do you think? You said what has going down this path, doing this, what have you sort of, it's fine. What have you given up, or what you said you sacrificed this and that? What, dating girls?
Sure, I'm dating them out there. It's fine. It's really, the sacrifice is what you on paper do, but sacrifice truly is, or you do feel bad giving it up.
Yeah.
And so I could say I sacrificed a wife, but I don't feel bad yet about not having a wife.
Were you married?
No. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm sacrificing that life.
You could have had a wife.
Exactly right now.
You still can have a wife.
For sure.
One day. Do you want?
But I'm sacrificing that ideal of like wife and kids, and for now.
Yeah. But you don't want that.
I don't know if I want it. Maybe I do.
But you don't want that right now. You're a young.
That's what I'm saying. So
you're a young hot bachelor making up for lost time, being ugly as a kid.
Hello. I think we're getting to the point now where like the lost time is we're getting there now. We're getting even. We're about to go into green, and I just like maybe we just chill out before it gets too crazy. Yeah. But that's the thing with comics is like as we get older, our social capital is rising though, and so it can get a little dicey. Is that like on paper you're like aging, but your dick has no concept of this right now. He's just hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah, I just got out of a relationship.
Oh yeah,
and it was like the first love.
Okay, sure. Oh shit.
So it was like Drake's.
How long?
About a year and a half.
Okay, damn.
You got some change, and coming out of it, I'm like, oh fuck, like that love shit.
Yeah.
That's some good shit to have in your life.
Dude, it's so nice.
It's so nice to have. Dude. Just a home.
Oh, dude, it feels like everything's going to be okay. When you're doing shows and you're like, oh, but I'm going home to someone who loves me.
Yeah.
We're going to cuddle, watch Harry Potter.
Yeah. And it's like, how's the set? It's like, it don't matter.
I don't even give a shit.
And
if it was bad, you just tell it to her. Like, hey, it was bad.
And then,
she's like, you're so funny though.
I tried this new joke, and then you say it to her, and she's like, "Stop it! That's crazy. How could they not like that?" And you're like, "I know."
Then you have missionary sex. Oh,
that's my favorite.
Oh, so good.
Is that your favorite?
Love missionary. It's most underrated position of all time.
I mean,
most underrated position.
I mean, it's like vanilla ice cream. It's like.
And how good is that fucking shit?
No, it's great.
Come on.
Because people are like, I don't like vanilla. I like cookies and cream. You know what cookies and cream is made out of?
A butt.
Fucking vanilla.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a euphemism for anal. Cookies and cream.
No, I wasn't making that connection.
That was the cookies. Okay, never mind.
There's a lot of...
Knock on your door. The back door, of course.
But yeah. So,
Whoa.
But yeah, so you, and I remember in one of the podcasts, do you have it? You seem to have a self-improvey
definitely
mentality. It seems like, because I was listening to you on this podcast and I was like, this guy's just a motivational speaker.
Get out of here.
At some point, he's just like 3 things in life.
Oh, power, presence, charisma.
Yeah, power,
presence, warmth. Yeah. Charisma can be broken down.
You weren't even paying attention to them. You were just like in the camera, like, are you at home? Do you feel small? Do you feel weak? And I was like, whoa. He's like, Tyler. I'm like, whoa. Talking right to me.
Stop being a pussy. Hey, now.
I'm like, I didn't. What?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Put down the kombucha. I'm like, okay, that's fair. No, that's fair. That's some.
You're half white. You know this.
That's some white. You're right. No, I need to chill out. But it seems like that is a world that
Hilarious.
you delved into. You probably read books. You probably.
I love reading a good self-help book. I think it fucking does help if you get into it. All about self-knowledge, all about mantras, all about cognitive reappraisal to like use your mind to create the best self.
Yeah.
Because all it is our minds run wild, right? And that creates our own sadness. How do I create an elastic mind that is able to experience all things, every emotion with great gusto, but also be able to return to a center? That's the whole game. And you too can do this for 5 easy payments
exactly
of $19.99.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Where does all this come from? Does it come from books that you've read? Does it come from religion?
Combination. Not religion that much.
No?
I grew up Muslim, but it was never really something I drew from as much.
I guess that stuff feels. I mean, is that,
how arrogant is this to me? I'm like, God, yeah, right. It's just me. It's all me, baby. No, of course.
I read Jordan Peterson, and that's all I really needed.
The white boy Quran.
That's my God.
JP.
JP, shout out.
God, of course. I grew up in religion. I still believe in God. I grew up hating myself, so getting out of that requires work. And so I was like, how do I feel good?
And you know, it requires a piece of you being like, but I'm not really a piece of shit.
Exactly.
And like, how do you get that?
Well,
how do you give that to someone that doesn't have?
Of course, you have to find. Well, luckily I found funny, and then you got like outward validation of some positivity coming back your way. People who aren't funny, it's like hard to tell. I mean, we know all the time what's a real, but if you are able to find something you love to do, everything else kind of stops mattering.
Yeah,
and then you start getting hotter and more cool just on virtue of what you're doing.
Yeah,
that's the main key.
See,
you can be a hummingbird and that's great, but if you really find something you like to do, you get out of the whoosh wash. You get out of the fucking streams of thought of people's bullshit. All the mainstream ideas are gone.
So what are the tactics or mental things that you're doing now to ensure this?
Oh, you want the real shit.
I want the real. What's the mental space? Because I
want the book
I can give you.
that I sell.
I have in my room. I got a dry erase board.
Yeah.
And this year's been a tough year, so I haven't come up. Whenever I have an epiphany, I'll write it up there.
Sure.
And be like, hey,
I love that.
Hey, don't forget.
I love it.
Don't forget. Some of them.
You ready? Bitches be tripping.
I'll be like, yo.
Never forget.
I'd be like, yeah, women, bitches be tripping, women be shopping, niggas be crazy, like all of that.
Women do be shopping though.
They really do.
Can we be honest?
Or like I wrote just those really deep things that are meaningful, and then you write it and you're like, don't force it, and I'm like, that's it. But it means a lot to me. But that's
simple.
Huge.
It's very
huge.
simple.
Don't force it.
Mantra should be simple.
Yeah.
Don't
force it.
Mantras are like Pete Holmes had some mantras. You know the episode that changed my life actually?
Tell me.
Was you made a weird episode with Kyle Cease.
That's the used to be comic, and that was a great from years ago, right?
Years ago. I was a comic bombing every day.
I still quote things that he said in that episode.
I used to be a comic bombing every day. Bombing every day. It was brutal. And I would listen to WTF and I listened to You Made It Weird, and it would help me like allow the bomb to be okay, because they would talk about their whole life. And every big comic had this part of the podcast was talking about bombing all the time.
Yeah.
And it just saved me. I was like delivering Jimmy John's at the time, listening to podcasts, and it was just like, just hearing their stories just like made me feel so good.
Yeah.
Kyle Cease comes on this fucking podcast on You Made It Weird, talks about how joy should come from inside out and not outside in, and not look at the results as being the progenitor of your happiness, but being the idea of your doing it being the happiness. And I was like, Kyle! I still use Kyle Cease's ideas from that podcast today. So that was a big one. Mantras, this is exactly how it's supposed to go. I think about like actual genocides, really. I think about like a kid killing his uncle in Somalia as a child troop. And I'm like, my life is nowhere near that serious. So talk to that girl.
Yeah.
I think about
that's what's funny. It's always
back to pussy.
It's always like, hey man, come on. There are people starving in Africa. Go eat that pussy. That's what it always is.
Do not leave any pussy on the plate.
Do not.
Because they're starving people in Africa.
There's a small African boy that would love
to eat
just some scraps.
Even one labia, even. That's what it is. It's like I conceptualize that. There's like some people who died early, not in my life, but people that I know. And I'm like, all they wanted was some more life. Okay, so what am I fucking so sad about? I'm all bonus right now. I'm doing the thing that I want to do every day of my life. I'm living the top 1% of lives ever lived. You know, just because
that's true. Objectively,
but what
it sounds very Trumpy.
Of course,
we're living in one of the 1% best lives
ever lived.
They could ever be lived. That's me. But it's true.
Yeah,
and it's important to remember. I heard on a Neil Brennan's podcast.
Sure.
Who
I would never listen to. That guy seems anxious as fuck.
I think he's chilled out.
Okay,
he's chilled out over the years. He talked about how he's like, if you had 8 billion people on a wheel. And you're like, I don't like my life. Spin again.
Yeah.
Would you do it? 8 billion, and you spin the wheel, and then you land on a person, and you get that. What are the odds that you're going to be in America, doing good, being creative, rocking the same shirt and jacket that you've been wearing because it fucking works? Like, what are the odds?
That's what he said. I love it. I love that. That's really good.
Like, whenever you're in a shitty place, it's like, try someone else's life.
Yeah.
Would you
randomly, really want that?
Would you randomly choose a different person's life?
You could get Brad Pitt though, as well.
But you're not.
You're not gonna get. You're gonna
Pitt.
You're gonna become a poor Bengali orphan, and you're gonna be making H&M clothes. Good luck.
Yeah, that's pretty much. You're gonna be digging. You're gonna be digging through a pile of iPhone 6s, looking for that piece of something where it's
the cobalt.
Yeah, looking for the cobalt to pass on.
You're gonna be in
a cobalt mine and be like, oh, I lost my arm today.
Yeah.
Thank God I got one more. Thank God. But yeah, I mean, there's things like that. I love that, and you need that, and it's like that's the thing that you need to like cultivate. Otherwise, you're like you'll lose it and you'll get lost in that neuroses in your brain.
And again, we're not perfect, right? We're gonna be egotistical. We're gonna have issues in the world that are like problematic, and we're gonna feel like we want something that our friends has. We have all these things that are gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if you can just work on it with mantras and with a little bit of mental energy, you can make a better life for yourself. You can literally think yourself into a better life.
So is there anything right now that you're like, mantra's great, keep your mind right, keep it going. But is there anything right now that you're like, I'm actually struggling with this. This is something I'm working on.
How's it going, man? The roommate's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh no, fucking up the whole energy. He's a nice guy.
He always says, he comes out and he could just come out and go to the bathroom. He's always like, I'm so sorry.
He has to be a little white about it.
I'm so sorry,
he gets a third mic. Guys, let me plug this in. I'm so sorry, guys. My bad. I love you guys. So brave. So strong. What's his name?
Ammon.
He seems like a cool guy.
Ammon's great. Incredible composer, pianist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ammon.
We met doing improv in Austin, and he would play piano for the improv shows. I'm like, oh, he's good at piano.
Amazing.
And then he comes here, and he's in this program where he's composing these incredible Broadway.
That's beautiful, dude.
It's fucking nuts.
Is it Ammon?
Ammon.
I love this, dude.
Ammon Taylor. Check him out on
Love,
something.
dude. Love, dude. Taking a shit right now.
Yeah.
Ammon Taylor.
Yeah. But it's musical, though.
Oh, but the way he shits, that's how the arias come out.
Yeah, it's a C7 he hit.
He doesn't take shit. He writes movements. Bowel movements.
You could have stopped at movements.
Come on, bro.
Just in case. Bowel movement.
You like that, Evan? It's fine. Appreciate you.
You're crushing it, Evan. Yeah, what are you working on? What
am I working on right now? Interesting. You know what? There was a girl I was texting a while ago, and she wasn't texting back, and I felt really, really bad about it. And I was like, fuck, you know what's happening? I'm like, in the space of getting too much, then I forgot how to not get. And I was getting like, why? She doesn't want me? What the fuck? And I was getting very anxious, very egotistical.
And then you start on that mantra, she was fat anyways. She was fat anyways.
And then I'm harder because I like that. Calling all fatties. No, it's like everyone's beautiful, by the way. But I'm just like trying to uncancel myself every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it was like very much like I was getting lost in the space of need and lost in the space of ego. And I was like, why do I? And I was like, oh, fuck. It's because no matter how good you get at working at yourself, it's a constant muscle. If you don't work it, you start getting too much, you start achieving too much, start acquiring too much, you start losing that ability sometimes to reconnect to that, sense of loss and sense of being okay with not having, because it's never yours to begin with. You don't actually own anything. Your own body will be taken from you.
Yeah.
This is all borrowed. So the idea of forgetting that and being when you get too tied to your own pleasure and too you start wiling out. You start fucking around and finding out, you know, like, oh, this is my body, this is my life, this is my all mine. And when you start losing things, you got reigniting yourself and being like, okay, I forgot I don't own anything.
Yeah.
And it's important to reconnect with that idea of lack of ownership.
Sometimes I wonder if, because when you think of growth,
Yeah.
you think of like getting bigger.
Sure.
And getting stronger.
Yeah.
And that sort of a thing.
A Kanye song, yes.
Yeah, bigger, faster, stronger. He the one part that's not him, like the sample, it's like, yeah, the Kanye part. You think about getting bigger, but then part of it is this thing where it's like, but also it's like learning, like remaining balanced and not getting to like, hey, I'm growing, I'm fucking crushing, I'm amazing, I'm the best. And
I'm growing like a fucker. Yeah. You don't want to like,
no one can fucking stop me.
Chad
like,
growth. Yeah.
But it's like really like, but also forget that, you know, sometimes a girl won't text you back.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm that same ugly boy. You're still ugly.
I know. It's
tough. It doesn't go away.
Well, you don't say that exactly, but subconsciously that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're like, I was always ugly, I knew it. And I was getting like stomach ache. My body was hurting. And I'm like,
because you wanted her to text her.
Of course.
Did you go on a date with her? What's the story?
We ended up fucking.
Okay.
It was all fine.
Hell yeah.
It was all fine. But
so you're saying you texted her, you were like, I wonder when's she gonna text, and then she did text, and then y'all did bang. You banged it out.
No, she did text eventually, but that time between was so fraught with danger. I was like, why do I feel this? And it was like, for me to go back and be like, oh yeah, you've been acquiring too much in life and you've lost the ability to contextualize loss. And it was just like very important to be like, always work on yourself. Always be vigilant and don't be arrogant about your own growth.
And also that pussy's gonna come.
Come on, man.
It's gonna come, man.
On, bro.
It's gonna come, man.
Bro.
Who do you date now? I've heard you talk on podcasts about dating outside. Do you dating outside your race?
I'm not even doing anything. I talk about this stuff on podcasts. It comes back to bite me in the ass.
Oh, you're not doing.
So I'm no dick anymore. My dick is gone.
I can tell how many followers you have because you're like, hey man, that's not that was him. That's not even me.
I used to say so much wild shit on podcasts. I still do now.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, JK, make sure you have the soundbite too. I don't believe in it. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
You know?
It's exhausting.
Exhausting.
I know, because like, you know,
I'll never stop doing it. I love doing it. And if I stop doing it, it won't be fun anymore to be a comedian.
Yeah.
So I have to do it. But then I'll also be like, disclaimer, don't cancel me, please.
Oh, it's my friend. Hold on. She's going to have to wait.
What time is it now?
It's Rachel Austin. She was on the last episode. Check it out,
gotcha.
everybody. Well, you good?
Yeah. Like maybe 5 minutes left. I gotta bounce.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Well, then let's wrap up then.
Yeah.
Bye. All right.
Thanks,
no,
man.
I'm just playing. Speed round questions.
Yes.
Just you give me quick advice on stuff. Advice on what have we talked about here? Advice on Pakistan, India, Bangladesh relations. If I was going to visit there, what should I really know before I go?
Just be chill, man. Everyone's cool in Bangladesh, and no one's actually fighting anymore. It's fine.
Okay.
Everyone's hanging out. Bring Imodium tablets. You're gonna shit yourself a lot.
Yeah.
That's like the most important advice possible.
Yeah, my brother was in India for a month. He's like, "Dude, you eat it and it just passes through
just
you."
like
and
water.
it's like beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like oh.
It is not beautiful. It sucks.
That's how he made it
diarrhea.
sound. That's how he made it sound. He made it sound like, it's kind of nice because like, you don't hold on to it. For
He was trying to repurpose diarrhea. There's no cognitive reappraisal for diarrhea. I'll say that. Diarrhea is diarrhea. Welcome.
I mean, that's just what he said. Becoming confident.
Read The Charisma Myth. One of the best books out on like just breaking down what confidence actually is. And just give more love. Try to love people. Love gives you more confidence than you think.
Okay.
Because love begets more love coming back at you. It's good.
And then lastly, just what's advice on how I can beat you?
In comedy? No chance.
Just comedy, life, all of it. How do I defeat?
You already beat me, dude. You got the dashiki wallpaper.
I do.
You're a very funny, smart guy. Dude.
In touch with my roots? I guess. Maybe.
Watch Roots on NBC. You're a funny guy. You're a cool guy, dude. I think you're on the right track. I think of the same space I'm in, trying to grow and trying to be a better person. Hell yeah, dude. Well, tell people where they can find you. At Usama Bin Laughing. Used to be. Not anymore. At Usama Stands Up. And follow my podcast Mango Bay with my boy Pranav. We fucking goof off on South Asian issues and shit.
Love it.
Yeah, bro.
Usama Siddiquee.
Keep growing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Much love, dude.
Bye-bye. Unity.